We're constantly amazed by the number of gifted artists we meet who have never had formal art training. And it's always interesting to learn their stories and see what they make. Some of them are truly undiscovered gems, like our next artist. When we saw Lawr Hugo's work, we couldn't believe what it was made of. Take a look.
When I sit on that blank piece of paper, it looks blank for a long time. I have an idea as to what the theme's going to be, but the particulars, I don't have like a vision of the piece being done. The first most important thing is, since there's so much detail and there's so much going on in these things, is to get like a very powerful central theme so that everything that's in here is related to it. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of mismatch. I'll get my central theme done, and I'll just start working on that. I have a common idea of how I want to do that. And then as that gets drawn, other pieces, other figures just start appearing in my mind or on the paper, and I kind of just unfold it.
But even as Lawr Hugo lets his designs evolve, he has to constantly keep in mind the limitations of his material.
I want to try to keep everything up close, so that's part of the designing technique, as far as, trying to, come up with something rather than if it were a pen and ink, I can do things real small, but everything has to be rolled up front, so that makes it interesting challenge to design, after having chosen the theme.
The sketches Larry's working on won't be painted on canvas or board or even paper. Larry works on leather. The outline of everything he's drawing has to be cut into the leather and then painted. It's very time-consuming, but Larry loves the look.
The beveling gives it a 3D effect. It raises everything up. It's cut in such a way that it just it gives it dimension and depth, and just gives it a real look. It comes out at you. It's a relief. So it just adds to the quality of the art, I think.
Makes it pop.
Makes it pop out. It comes out at you.
And he doesn't just cut a few images into the leather and leave the rest blank.
Every inch will have something. And, whether it be like a tree or water, everything will be broken up to where the final product is similar to a paint by number when it's all done. Like everything will be a closed system. Every color gets its own space. So I design it more or less like a mosaic. So these are basically old designs over the years I had, up in Eugene Saturday Market.
Despite having a degree in education, Larry, along with his brother, spent years selling hand-painted leather goods at craft fairs.
We did well, yeah. We paid rent and ate, and it was a very creative period of time. And a lot of my earlier designs, originated back then. I mean, prolifically. I did a lot of belts and purses and saddlebags and that type of thing. All original designs and all painted. I'll start walking.
Now Larry makes his living as an arborist. He lives on land up above Jacksonville in southern Oregon. The solitude gives him a lot of time to read and think about the world. And he expresses his feelings about the world in his art.
Each of these pieces actually are kind of philosophies, because like before I can draw them, I have to sit down and I write the concepts. I have to study the words, the subject matter or the theme or the archetype. There's a lot of study that goes into them, a lot of research, and it's trying to explain or trying to visualize what I perceive as going on in life, and it just seems that there is conflict. If anybody has noticed that, they haven't been around long enough. And so part of the artwork is to render it in such a beautiful way with all the natural wild animals and natural wild scenes, and within that beauty, which this world is beautiful, there is conflict.
So there are devils flying in the sky, demons fighting, the horsemen of the apocalypse, He's inspired by the complex works of Hieronymus Bosch and Peter Bruegel the Elder. You can look at Larry's pieces for hours. There's so much detail. His work has attracted some attention and some offers, but because each one of his large leather panels takes so long to make, he isn't willing to sell them cheaply, even though he's an unknown artist.
That's the conventional wisdom, is that the name sacrifice your first pieces, but my pieces are so long to do, I didn't want to sacrifice many of my years, so I decided that I would do it another way in the prints. Rather than get originals out there, get the prints out there, and then they can track down the originals from the prints.
He's had offers of $10,000 for a single original leather panel, but ultimately, Larry says he would like to sell all his pieces to a single collector and not break them up. He's not sure where that collector may be, but in the meantime, he'll just keep working.
I want to do as many of those as I can. I have a few other themes I have lined up to do. They're very, very much bigger than these here even. You know, the secret's going to be to find a cow that's big enough. I haven't run out of leather inspiration yet, and it just seems to be the best medium that I can use, so I just want to continue to pursue that. You know, there's all kinds of other art I could possibly do, but I just want to stick with this because I like it.